one day at a time.
Oh no, but God gave me the victory. I'm not gay now, but I was gay all my life. I believe I was one of the first gay people to come out. But God let me know that he made Adam be with Eve, not Steve. So...
Hi, I'm Little Richard, baby. I'm the innovator, I'm the emancipator, I'm the originator, I'm the architect of rock and roll. And the best new artist is me.
Little Richard was a music legend, but his life wasn't all glitz and glam. He was haunted by scandals that followed him until his last breath. Imagine living a life where your mistakes never left you alone, even on your deathbed. That's what happened to Little Richard. He was known for his wild performances and flashy persona, but behind the scenes, he battled with his demons. Scandals, like rumors of drug use, and his s-uality haunted him throughout his career. These whispers followed him like a shadow, casting doubt on his reputation and causing turmoil in his personal life. Despite his fame and success, the scandals took a toll on Little Richard. They chipped away at his happiness and peace of mind. He struggled with inner demons that he couldn't shake off, no matter how hard he tried. These scandals loomed over him like a dark cloud. They tainted his legacy and left him wrestling with regret. Join us as we delve into the tumultuous life of a music icon, haunted by scandals until the very end. Little Richard, born Richard Wayne Penniman on December 5, 1932, in Macon, Georgia, began his life in humble surroundings. Raised in a large religious family, his upbringing was characterized by poverty and a strict religious environment. Despite the constraints of his surroundings, Richard's passion for music emerged early on. He found inspiration in the vibrant gospel music of the church, where he honed his vocal skills and developed a flair for performance. Richard's musical influences were diverse, ranging from gospel singers like Sister Rosetta Tharpe to R&B artists such as Billy Wright and Roy Brown. His early exposure to different musical styles laid the foundation for his unique blend of gospel, rhythm and blues, and boogie-woogie. At the age of 14, Richard left home to pursue a career in music, performing in clubs and talent shows around the South. In 1951, Richard signed his first recording contract with RCA Victor, releasing a string of singles that failed to gain significant traction. It wasn't until he signed with Specialty Records in 1955 that his career began to take off. With producer Robert "Bumps" Blackwell, Richard recorded a series of explosive, high-energy tracks that would become his signature sound. Songs like Tutti Frutti, Long Tall Sally, and Good Golly Miss Molly became instant hits, catapulting Richard to fame and establishing him as a pioneer of rock and roll. One of the most striking aspects of Little Richard's rise to fame was his controversial persona. On stage, he was flamboyant, exuberant, and unapologetically extravagant. His gender-bending style challenged societal norms of masculinity and femininity, particularly in the conservative climate of the 1950s. With his wild hair, makeup, and flashy outfits, Richard blurred the lines between genders and defied expectations of how a rock and roll star should look and behave. This bold image elicited a range of reactions from both fans and critics. While many embraced Richard's unapologetic individuality and celebrated his groundbreaking performances, others condemned his flamboyance as vulgar and immoral. In the racially segregated South, Richard's music and persona were especially provocative, challenging entrenched ideas of race, s-uality, and identity. Fast forward to the late 1950s witnessed one of the most unexpected and profound transformations when Little Richard made a pivotal decision to leave behind the glitz and glamour of his secular career to embrace gospel music and Christianity. This shift not only marked a significant transition in his musical trajectory, but also sparked internal conflicts between his newfound religious convictions and his flamboyant lifestyle. His energetic performances, androgynous style, and wild persona had made him an icon of the burgeoning rock and roll movement. However, behind the scenes, he grappled with a deeply rooted spirituality that eventually led him to reevaluate his priorities. His conversion to Christianity was a profound and life-altering experience. Feeling called to serve a higher purpose, Little Richard announced his departure from the secular music scene in 1957, shocking fans and industry insiders alike. He felt compelled to dedicate his talents to gospel music, believing it to be a more spiritually fulfilling path. Yet this transition wasn't without its conflicts. Richard's flamboyant persona clashed with the conservative norms of the gospel community. His eccentricities and past lifestyle choices often put him at odds with the expectations of his newfound religious peers. Moreover, his s-uality presented a continuous source of tension within his faith journey. Throughout his life, Little Richard struggled to reconcile his faith with his s-uality. Despite his religious fervor, he openly admitted to engaging in homo-s relationships, a fact that frequently led to inner turmoil. The clash between his deeply ingrained religious beliefs and his innate desires created a perpetual struggle that he grappled with until his final days. In addition to his spiritual conflicts, Little battled with substance abuse, a common affliction among many artists of his era. His fame and relentless touring schedule took a toll on his mental and physical health, leading him to turn to alcohol and drugs as coping mechanisms. The pressures of stardom exacerbated his personal struggles, plunging him into a cycle of addiction and despair. Publicized incidents of erratic behavior and personal crises punctuated Little Richard's career, further highlighting the tumultuous nature of his internal struggles. From abrupt career changes to public outbursts, he grappled with the consequences of his decisions and the weight of his personal demons. However, in his later years, his legacy became intertwined with controversies that reflected the evolving societal attitudes towards LGBTQ+ rights, his lifestyle, and religious beliefs. Renewed media attention often focused on his past, bringing both criticism and support from various quarters. Little Richard's flamboyant persona and ambiguous s-uality were subjects of speculation throughout his career. In the 1950s and 1960s, when he rose to fame, such matters were often kept under wraps due to societal norms. However, as attitudes towards LGBTQ+ rights evolved, the media began revisiting his past, shedding light on his fluid s-uality. This renewed attention sparked discussions about the challenges he faced as a queer black man in the music industry during a less accepting era. Criticism and support came from different angles regarding Little Richard's lifestyle and religious beliefs. Some conservative factions condemned his flamboyance and perceived deviation from traditional gender norms, while others praised his authenticity and courage in being true to himself. His religious views also stirred controversy, particularly as he embraced and then distanced himself from rock and roll, seeding conflicts with his faith. Navigating these controversies in his later years posed challenges for Little Richard amidst changing cultural landscapes. Despite facing backlash, he remained unapologetically himself, refusing to conform to societal expectations. He acknowledged his struggles with identity and faith, speaking openly about the complexities of reconciling his religious beliefs with his s-uality and career. Little Richard's approach to these controversies was multifaceted. He often addressed them in interviews, expressing both defiance and vulnerability. While he defended his right to self-expression, he also acknowledged the pain caused by societal rejection and internal conflict. Additionally, he sought solace in spirituality, finding a sense of peace through his faith despite the tensions it created with his public persona. Little Richard's conversion to Christianity and subsequent departure from rock and roll for gospel music marked a significant chapter in his life. This transition unleashed a maelstrom of internal conflicts, pitting his religious convictions against his flamboyant lifestyle and s-ual identity. Coupled with battles against substance abuse and personal struggles, his journey exemplifies the complex interplay between faith, fame, and personal demons in the life of a music legend. Little faced health challenges and gradually withdrew from the public eye in his final years. After suffering a heart attack in 2013, he struggled with various health issues, including hip problems and a stroke. These ailments prompted him to retire from touring, and he largely retreated from public appearances. Speculation about Little Richard's health swirled in the media, with rumors often surfacing about his condition. However, his family and close associates remained relatively private about his health struggles, adding to the mystery surrounding his well-being. On May 9, 2020, Little Richard passed away at the age of 87 due to bone cancer. His death sparked an outpouring of tributes from fans, fellow musicians, and cultural figures worldwide. Many celebrated his groundbreaking contributions to music and his influence on subsequent generations of artists. Despite the accolades, controversies continued to shape perceptions of Little Richard's life and work even after his passing. Some critics pointed to his complex relationship with his identity and s-uality, as well as his occasional contradictory statements about his beliefs and lifestyle. However, his impact on popular music remains undeniable, and his legacy continues to inspire and provoke discussions about creativity, identity, and cultural change in the realm of rock and roll. Little Richard's legacy extends far beyond his chart-topping hits. It permeates through generations of musicians and continues to shape the landscape of contemporary music. Throughout his lifetime, Little Richard received numerous honors and tributes, recognizing his unparalleled contributions to music. He was inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame in its inaugural year in 1986, solidifying his status as one of the genre's pioneers. Additionally, he received a Grammy Lifetime Achievement Award in 1993, further cementing his place in music history. Moreover, Little Richard's legacy extends beyond controversies to his contributions to music and culture. He paved the way for countless artists, transcending boundaries of race, gender, and s-uality. Despite the challenges he faced, Little Richard's faith remained a central aspect of his life. He often credited his Christian beliefs with providing him strength and guidance through the darkest periods of his existence. Despite the contradictions and conflicts that defined his journey, he remained unwavering in his devotion to God. Little Richard's influence on subsequent generations of musicians is immeasurable. Icons such as Prince, David Bowie, and Mick Jagger have all cited him as a significant inspiration. His dynamic stage presence, outrageous persona, and energetic performances paved the way for artists to push boundaries and challenge societal norms. Prince, in particular, admired Little Richard's uninhibited approach to music and fashion, incorporating elements of his style into his own performances. David Bowie, known for his eclectic and innovative music, credited Little Richard as one of his earliest influences. Bowie's fearless experimentation with sound and image echoed Little Richard's groundbreaking approach to rock and roll. Mick Jagger, frontman of the Rolling Stones, emulated Little Richard's electrifying stage presence and charismatic persona, shaping the identity of one of the most iconic rock bands in history. Little Richard's influence transcends mere musical innovation. It embodies a spirit of defiance, individualism, and unapologetic self-expression. His impact on rock and roll and popular culture reverberates through the decades, inspiring artists to embrace their uniqueness and challenge the status quo. Through his life, we are reminded of the complexities of fame and the toll it can take on an individual's well-being. Little Richard's struggles serve as a sobering reminder that behind the glitz and glamour of celebrity lies a vulnerable human being, susceptible to the same pitfalls and challenges as anyone else. However, amidst the controversies and turmoil, Little Richard's impact on music remains undeniable. His electrifying performances and boundary-pushing style paved the way for future generations of artists, leaving an indelible mark on the world of rock and roll. As we reflect on his life and legacy, let us remember Little Richard not only for his scandals, but also for his remarkable contributions to music and culture. May his memory serve as a testament to the power of perseverance, creativity, and the enduring spirit of rock and roll.